Hello everyone, or just me. Um, I finished up with my daily recap video for today, Thursday, November 19th, 2021, and I wasn't going to start Watchlist until next week, but no time better than the present, right? So I decided that I'd go ahead and start up again and go ahead and do my Watchlist for tomorrow. Um, and since I haven't done this on camera before, this might be a little rough, but if you've sat through my previous two videos, you know what rough is. Um, Let me go ahead and start by going through what is currently on my watch list. Actually, I'll move it up on the screen here. Let's see. Okay, and I'll change this to 9. So these are just stocks that have interested me over the past week or so, and now I'm going to run through them. They're sorted by volume, and that's it. I can sort by percent change or volume, or rather I do, but I'll sort by volume just to see what was the most active in my watch list today. And then once we go through that, I'll run through some OTC and Nasdaq percent gainers as well, separate from the watch list to see if I want to add anything in here. I might also remove stuff from here too. So for right now, I'm going to move this. I'll move this over here for now. Let's just say, let's do it right, maybe right there. All right, so we'll start with LGVN. Good old LGVN, where I got caught in that dip. If you happen to, I shouldn't say dip, I should say crack, dollar crack there, dollar 20 crack. Uh, this one will stay on my watch list because I'm curious to see what will happen tomorrow. I mean, as you can see here, we've kind of hit an area in between my previous, where I previously put a resistance level or resistance slash support level, and now the $8 level. So I probably won't trade it just because it's mid range at this point. And actually, let me get rid of my arrows here. I don't like keeping them on because they affect uh, the daily down here. So let me go ahead and pull that back up. I apologize, I'm working with multiple screens here, so all right, so I'll leave that on just to see. I probably won't trade it tomorrow, though. It's a little choppy for me, and I wouldn't be surprised if this just fades off. What did I just do? Clicked on the price. Whoops. All right, DPLS. Let's see. As you can see, it's run up from 22 to, or excuse me, it's run up from 2 cents, give or take 2, 3 cents to 20 cents, and has since kind of sat in mid-range. I'll leave this on just because it seems like it's, of course it's mid-range right now, but if this happens to break above this 14.9 level, let's say, and hold and consolidate maybe for a couple days, that might be something that would intrigue me. Um, so DPLS, that one's staying on. I will mark that row. Actually, you know what? I keep hitting the price here. I apologize. I'm going to unmark the row just because it's not ideal for me. And the majority of the stocks that are on this are OTC. I don't care for NASDAQ, but that's because I don't have much experience with them. OZSC. This one today cracked hard. This is probably not going to be a trade for me. Cracked from the mid 6 cent here to down to the 5 cent mark. Right. Let's see. I think that this move is pretty much over. I'll leave it on, but as you can see, this run up, I mean, is incomparable to this previous run up when it hit 50 cents. So this one's probably just going to fade off, just like it did here. But I'll leave it on just for now. I'll probably take it off maybe this week if it the end of this week if it doesn't do anything. VOSO, that was the other one I traded today. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just a one-day spiker. And it wouldn't surprise me if this just fades off because, and also what am I supposed to gauge my trade off of here? I mean, I could trade it off of previous days levels, but NASDAQ choppy. I probably won't trade it. TGGI, let's see, it had a run up in September, had another run up in November that I don't think I capitalized on at all, but that's the name of the game. And here is where it's kind of intriguing me. I'm wondering if this could be a consolidation um, and maybe another ramp up. But the volume isn't great. Volume's dried up. So ideally, I'd want to see this volume come in. I'll keep it on the watch list just because it is floating around mid-range here, but it wouldn't surprise me if this just faded off either. There's not a lot going on right now. FERN, Fern Hill Corp. This one looks like it might be done. It did just crack this resistance level that I've drawn here. Very, I don't know, the volume seems to have dried up here if you could see it down here. Again, I'm probably going to take this off this week depending on how it performs tomorrow, but this isn't looking like something I would want to trade. Of course, any of that can change midday, but overall chart, just not looking great. OSCI, 1-day spike. I'll leave it on because I'm curious to see what it will do tomorrow. Um, it did seem like it was propped up and brought up to this near breakout level, but it wouldn't surprise me if this opened low and continued down. If so, maybe I want to see what it does at this level down here at 225-ish, but I'm not really too intrigued in this one. MJNA. We had kind of a ramp up here. It moved from, let's see, what was the low here? 0.222 to the high of, let's see, 4 cents. I mean, it didn't really move too much. I think that this is pretty much over. And again, I apologize about my dog here. If you could hear him whimpering in the back, my wife should be getting home from work here in a little bit, so he just knows what time it is. I think that the move is over. I mean, you could see it seems like there's a pretty solid top here at 35 cents, so I'll just leave that on. I'll probably take it off my watch list at the end of this week. AABB, in the webinar that I watched today, excuse me, I got a phone call. Nobody important, because nobody important ever calls me. Except for my wife. If you hear this, obviously you're important. AABB, this one had a nice little run up here. And I'm surprised that I didn't put any levels back in here. I mean, it looks like that one could basically continue. But if I were to zoom in, let me move this over here. If I were to zoom in, it spiked, came down, consolidated for a day, spiked up again, and almost double topped here. I mean, this could be consolidation, a higher consolidation than this point. But it was a red day today. This is the, I believe, EMA 4. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this continue downward. It even looked like it was fading at the end of the day today. And what I need to get used to is looking at these overall trends. Overall trends is the ticket. So not really too interesting for me, but it is still kind of in play, so I'll probably leave this one on for a little bit longer. Moving on to ALPP. ALPP did have a first green day yesterday after this little ramp down, and spiked up and came back down to just underneath the EMA 4 here. Previous history of spiking. Let me zoom in on this. Zoom out a little bit. Double topped from the previous spike, and look at all this volume today. I didn't even notice that until just now. Look at all that volume. So I am eager to see if, I mean, it does seem like this is definitely a reversal day, but I want to see where this opens and what it can do tomorrow. This will be interesting to me, or for me to watch tomorrow. So that'll be on there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if it could hold this 314 level, or maybe crack a little bit in the morning and then reclaim that, that might be pretty, let me see, it might be pretty good. I don't know. All of these we'll see tomorrow. Moving on to ILUS. ILUS, this one looks like it's fading off pretty hard. I know that there were quite a few traders buying it, holding it, buying it during this breakout here and holding, waiting for this thing to break out, but it just couldn't do it. And I'm not sure, but I believe I bought in one of these days, and I probably took a loss on it, but I can't remember. But as you can see, I mean, this at the top left here, this just cannot seem to break 49 cents. So it's probably going to fade off into oblivion or do some kind of bounce if it cracks tomorrow. Maybe a morning panic down to 30. That would be pretty nice, although I'm trying to stay away from the morning panics, especially since I trade after 10:30 now, so I kind of miss those. Um, Moving on, NEWH, NEWH. This one did have a run up, and now it's kind of faded off. I'm curious to see personally if there will be a reversal, maybe tomorrow or Monday, because it does seem like back in here, back over here, that if it were to bottom, this might be a good place to switch it up. Um, let's see here. I'm just looking at the past to see if anything looks similar. I mean, it does have a couple 2 days here, a couple days down, and then another ramp up. We'll just see. We'll play it by ear. Depending on tomorrow, I would like to see maybe if this is a low, I could take a small position on it and maybe swing it. That would be nice. But I typically lose patience on those, so I have to do better. Um, but I'm going to mark this one. And actually, let me go back to ALPP because I want to mark that one and AABB because I'm going to mark that. If I right click on this, I'm able to unmark or mark rows. Let me run back through here real quick and just let me mark what I find intriguing. I'll probably find a better system for what I find intriguing, but this is what I have right now. Wow, look at that. Look at that ramp on a LGVN post market there from 620, 630, almost to 10. Wow, insane. What would that be? 620 to let's say 10. Let's 950. 53%. Wow, that's crazy. Um, all right, so we'll run down this list. INVU. Did we go over that one? INVU did have a little run up, and now it's coming down. I mean, volume's dried up. I'll leave it on there just to see if anything's going to be going on. IQST. Uh, it tried, and now it's coming down. Volume's drying up. I'll leave it on just to leave it on. Rows unmarked. Okay. LIVC. This one had a 1-day spike, and as you can see, top wicked huge and closed at almost 65 cents, and then came all the way back down. So I'll probably take this off this weekend because I don't see this or doing anything unless there's some weird reversal and it happens to continue. But we'll see tomorrow how it behaves. I mean, today it did nothing. So let's see, ELEK, ELEK. This one was crazy. I think I went over this. Nice run up yesterday. Nice ramp up, parabolic move today. Um, and now, or excuse me, yesterday, and now it's just been kind of fading. So same thing, I wouldn't be surprised if this just kind of fades off, but I'll keep it on there. ABEPF. I think this came on my watch list because it was a percent gainer, and I liked how it was looking in one of these days here. I think it was this day. But I'm not really one to hold overnight. And again, I can improve in all facets, but holding overnight really was the key here. I mean, if you held overnight here, a little gap up, held overnight here, great gap up, and then that would have been a good signal to hold overnight here for a nice little, gap up there. But this one is interesting. It seems like it might have bottomed, so I would like to see a ramp higher. If it could hold this 20-ish area, if it could hold 20, that would be nice. But this is very, very illiquid, and the volume, I mean, to be honest, I probably, an F ticker, F at the end of the ticker is a foreign company. I'm probably just going to remove this just because I don't want to, I don't want to clutter my watch list up too much, especially with something that just doesn't have volume. You need volume for volatility, and I don't want to get caught in something that's not volatile and lose more than I should. GTII, this had some great volume, and now it's kind of consolidating near where it broke out. So I would like to see this hold its breakout. Tomorrow would be interesting, or tomorrow's going to be interesting. I mean, it's either it looks fadey. It didn't do much at all today. It looks like it's going to fade, but if it could hold this breakout, very interesting, although this volume is drying up significantly. So I'm going to mark that row. And that's pretty much what is on my watch list. I'm going to take that off the screen. And now I'm going to go into, I wonder if after the market, sometimes it won't let me do this. So I have some preset gainers here. This is an OTC gainer that is 20,000, 20,000 or 50,000? Where's the 20? I thought there was a 20. Or 10,000, let's say. And you can organize by, like I said, I organize by volume or by percent change, and it really just depends on what you want to look at. I like looking at volatile stocks, and I really don't look under a million. Maybe I should, and maybe I will in the future, but for right now, while I'm learning, I just kind of stick to over a million. So we'll go ahead and zoom through these. OSCI, I already had on my watch list. Yep, I already have that, so we've looked at that. GYST, and typically you want to look at what it's done previously. Here, hold on, I apologize. All right, I apologize. My dog was starting to really scream there. What can you say? He just misses his mommy. GYST, volume, not interested. Not interested. Not interested. I'm mainly looking for big volume. And this volume didn't really do too much. Not interested. Not interested. Nope. Actually, I could remove the old drawings on this. Whoops, excuse me, clear drawing set. Nope. Nope. I'll put this one on just cause GWHP. I just want to see what it can do. I mean, it's got volume. Not that it did anything in the past, but if it could continue to ramp, and maybe, uh, there's so many other stocks in play. I'm just not even going to bother with it. I want to just focus on the best setups. That's what I have to learn. And all of these don't really have much volume. This one's got huge volume, but I don't like what it did previously. Yeah, actually, you know what? That might just do it for my watch list today. Hopefully I can get more in depth. What did I do? I really screwed that one up, didn't I? I could get more in depth with this later. And I'll just get better with doing these watch lists as I go along. But I hope you learned something, and hopefully we'll see some action tomorrow. All right, have a good one.